biggest challenge that I faced was outside of COVID-19 and the travel industry shutting down is loneliness.
Yeah.
It's loneliness. Like, people don't tell you it's not all glamorous. Like, people see, they look at the Instagram feed and are like, oh my gosh, she's here, she's in Bali, she's in Dubai. I'm like, that's a very small part of what I actually do. Right. The majority of my time is spent at my house in front of my computer, putting things together, doing the legwork that's not glamorous, like that people are not posting about on Instagram. Yeah. And so, just embracing just being alone so much. I didn't realize how much I actually liked having coworkers and laughing. I didn't necessarily enjoy that job, but I enjoyed being around people. Yeah. So just being more intentional about putting myself out there, going to those networking events, going to where people are, co-working space and all those things. Yeah. It's important because we're not meant to be in isolation.
That's right.
We're not meant to do this journey alone. I now have 3 team members that work with me. And yes, so entrepreneurs, get around people. Don't isolate yourself.
Right. No, and I think that's huge too, because it's like what you said, God even created, family units because they're supposed to be in a family, and there 2 or more are, gathered together, he's in our midst. So I really believe that applies to business as well, where, let's say you are a solopreneur, maybe you don't have a team, but collaborating or being part of a community with other entrepreneurs that may complement each other in your business and work together that way. So creating that community and support group really does help you get through those transitions, but also being able to embrace being alone as well, I think is important, because as not everyone's, sometimes when God tells you something, everyone might go against what God has told you to do, and it's like, to man or God? And I know it's like counterintuitive, but sometimes and I've heard so many people say this, like, seasons of aloneness is also good, because that's when you really can get to know you as your core, who you are, and just allow God to minister to you and speak to you and give you inspiration that you might not get through other people, but it's just between you and God, and be okay with it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm like, if I had listened to the naysayers who didn't believe in my vision, I was like, I would still be in corporate America. Yeah. or laid off or fired, because the oil and gas industry is super unpredictable. But like you said, people don't have your vision. Like, they don't know what God told you to do or why he told you to do it.
Exactly.
My parents are just now acknowledging the fact that I have a successful business. That was from being on Good Morning America. I had to get on a national TV show for them to be like, oh, wait, what are you? Oh, you're really doing something with these businesses. So we have to be willing and able to do it without the applause.
Yep. That's huge.
Because God is going to reward you. Like, just because the people that you want to clap for you are not clapping for you does not mean that you're not on the right path.
Yeah.
So that's been something that I've had to process as well. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't need the approval. You don't need the applause. God's got you.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, because you didn't really need men to, their approval. So when you're up there, it doesn't take men's approval to keep you there. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's just nice to be like, I live for an audience of one. That's always been my principle. I'm not here to please, whoever and so forth. And it's nice to have how many followers and so forth. But at the end of the day, I'm here to end, my walk in the earth and hear him say, well done, my good and faithful servant. So tell us how you incorporate biblical principles in your business.
This was a tough one, because I'm like, I just take everything day by day. Yeah. Like, you're supposed to have all of these policies and procedures. I'll use the COVID-19 for an example.
Yeah.
Our policy is non-refundable. You signed that it's not refundable. We told you to get travel insurance. Yeah. But the business entrepreneur side might say, okay, that's on them. They signed it. They should have gotten travel insurance. But the Christian in me is like, this needs to be fixed. No, it's yes, you are losing money by doing this. Yes, you are losing money by changing the policies, but it's not about, everything is not about money.
So
sometimes it's about doing the right thing. Would you want somebody to come at you and say, sorry, no refund, trip's canceled, moving on? No. So being able to separate myself from being strictly business and represent God in the way that he would want us to represent him is something that I do daily. And sometimes it's a struggle because it's like, okay, I got people who are depending on me to pay them. If I change this and I'm not bringing in the income, then what am I going to do? But he always shows up and provides abundantly.
Right. That's right.
Yes. So it's been an amazing journey of understanding that you have to take things day by day. So that's the motto that I live by, is one foot in front of the other. You know, in all the business classes, they'll tell you, you need a business plan. You need to map out your 5-year plan, your 3-year plan. And I'm like, okay, God is changing my plans by the day sometimes. And so just understanding that just do what he tells you to do until he tells you to do something else. Is what's going to get you further than any business plan that you can put together. Because there's going to be so many times that you have to pivot and change. And being able to be committed to God and not committed to a certain goal is going to be key.
Yeah, that's really huge. And I'm reminded of the scripture says, do not worry about tomorrow or be anxious about those things, but just worry about today. You know, that's a biblical principle that, you know, you kind of have to learn to live by, especially if you have been in this journey of entrepreneurship for a minute, right? You know that, things are unpredictable. The things that happen in my life, I would have not predicted like that would happen. And a lot of times his provision isn't also the way that you thought it was going to happen. A lot of times it's somewhere else, like, wait, why didn't see that coming? Okay, that's all right. So it's just but that's how mysterious God is. But he just, and that's the reason why I love serving the God that we serve, because he just full of surprises. And if we choose to trust in him and, you know, obey his ways, and I think that's key, it's being obedient and just really realizing that he truly has us in the palm of his hands.